Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's video, we will be talking about Derrick James addressing the haters, saying he's training too many fighters and not able to focus, which is one of the reasons why Earl the True Spence Jr. lost the biggest fight in boxing in the last 40 years, undisputed, versus Terrence Bud Crawford. But before we do that, make sure you help support the channel by punching that like and subscribe button. So, recently I watched a video of Derrick James after the Joshua fight. He did an interview. I believe it was probably a UK channel. The person had an accent. And he talked about several things in this interview, and I'm going to make a couple of videos about it. But one of the things that he addressed that was asked was about him training so many fighters. Now, I'm going to make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to give my 2 cents on that. But first, I just want to run down a couple of things that people have been saying about Derrick James since the brutal loss that Earl Spence just suffered from Terrence T. Bud Crawford. So after the fight, a lot of people started to say that Derrick James didn't have a good game plan against Terrence Crawford, how one-dimensional Earl Spence is, how they didn't have a plan B, how they didn't prepare for Crawford, how Derrick James said he doesn't watch boxing and he doesn't watch tape, and he's training too many fighters. He has too much going on. He needs to focus. Earl Spence should fire Derrick James. Right? All of these things people started saying after Earl Spence lost. And I started wondering, he's not the trainer of the year. It was a fluke. And I was wondering, what is up with the quote unquote PBC fighters? And y'all know what I mean when I say PBC fighters. What is up with them taking a loss and then just deleting everything that happened before that? Deleting everything else from their whole career, deleting all of their other accomplishments, just completely packing them up, stuffing them together, packing them up, balling them up, crumbling them up, and just throwing them in the trash. Let's not act like Derrick James doesn't already have an undisputed fighter in Jermell Lyons Only Charlo, who is about to fight another undisputed fighter, Canelo. The first time in history in the four belt era where you're going to have undisputed versus undisputed, right? That's Derrick James and Eddie Reynoso, both Hall of Fame trainers, both trainers of the year. Has Canelo taken losses? Absolutely, Canelo has losses. When Canelo lost to Bivol, I didn't hear anybody saying, Eddie Reynoso, he shouldn't have been training the other year. Canelo should fire him. And this and that and all of this, nobody was saying that. And I don't understand why they're saying that about Derrick James, because Canelo got beat. I mean, he didn't get beat up, but he got beat bad too. He didn't look that great in that fight. He looked like he bit off more than he could chew. Cherry pick gone bad is what a lot of people were saying. So Earl Spence loses, and they're like, and then everybody's saying, oh, even before the fight, it was a lot of hate for Derrick James, and I don't understand why it was so much hate for Derrick James. But in this interview, they asked him, is it too much on his plate? Is he training too many fighters? And he's like, what people not understanding is I don't train them all at the same time. I'm training these guys for 2 hours a day. This person comes in for 2 hours. This person comes in for 2 hours, and this person comes in for 2 hours. They barely get to see each other. So what people are not understanding is time management. It's called time management. He has a schedule. This person comes in from 9 to 11. I don't know what the schedule is. I'm just hypothetically speaking. This person comes in from 12 to 2. And do you guys think that these trainers are only training one fighter? They're not. You may not know all of their fighters because they're not big names. All these trainers don't have as many big names as Derrick James. But Eddie Reynoso was training Ryan Garcia and Canelo. He was training both of them at one time. Nobody was saying, oh, Eddie Reynoso doing too much. Nobody was saying that. Eddie Reynoso trains Oscar Valdez. Nobody's saying, oh, he got too much on his plate. Oscar Valdez just lost to Navarrete. Got sparked in the ring with the dude he had one hand. Nobody is saying that Eddie Reynoso didn't have a better game plan, that he needs to be fired. Nobody's saying that. So I don't understand why they're giving Derrick James such a hard time. And I don't care. I'm going to say it every time because we all know something was wrong with Errol Spence in that Terrence Crawford fight. You heard Derrick in the corner giving him good advice. He just wasn't listening, or he couldn't implement it, whatever the case may be. And everybody want to be like, oh, Derrick James don't watch film. They took Crawford too lightly, this and that. Y'all think Derrick James didn't do what he needed to do to put a game plan together for Errol Spence to beat Terrence Crawford? Y'all don't think that Derrick James possibly could have been saying that just to be saying that? There's no way that he doesn't watch film. He said it himself. He watches it when the time comes. He studies it when the time comes. I'm sitting back. I'm sure he watched all the Terrence Crawford fights. I'm sure when it was time to make the fight, he did what he needed to do, see what game plan he had to come up with. But as I'm going to keep saying, something was wrong with Errol Spence, and he could not implement the game plan as he needed to on that particular night. Anthony Joshua just won his fight. Anthony Joshua looked good. And let's say if Anthony Joshua would have lost, would that have been Derrick James' fault? No, it wouldn't have been Derrick James' fault because Anthony Joshua came with baggage. If Ryan Garcia loses, is it Derrick James' fault? No, it's not Derrick James' fault because Ryan Garcia is coming with baggage. These new people that Derrick James are training, they're coming with baggage. He's fixing them, so to speak. He's been training Errol Spence since a kid. He's been training Errol Spence since a kid, and Errol Spence has been a winner since a kid. He won in the amateurs. Boom, he won in the Olympics. Boom, he won 3 belts in the pros. How dare you say Derrick James shouldn't be trainer of the year and he should be fired? It's blasphemous. Like, we got to stop this. We got to stop trying to discredit people in this sport for a loss. I don't understand why boxing is the only sport where people feel like they should never lose. Nobody should ever lose. That doesn't happen, guys. Yes, Mayweather did it. That's one person out of how many boxers out of the history of boxing. And the more and more deeper I get into boxing and learn, it could have been a gazillion reasons why Mayweather went undefeated. He's a smart fighter and he's a smart businessman. So all I'm trying to say is let's stop trying to take credit away from Derrick James because Errol Spence lost the undisputed fight. It was the fight for undisputed. He made it all the way to the end. He just didn't finish it. He didn't do what we thought. He didn't win. He didn't become undisputed. It was the undisputed fight. It's fighters out here losing regular fights and nobody's saying that they trainer need to be fired, and nobody's saying that. So why are we giving Derrick James a hard time? Even if Charlo loses to Canelo, Derrick James still should be trainer of the year because he has another undisputed fighter, big fighter in another big fight. Derrick James is having his fighters in big fights. His fighters are out here competing. They're fighting for belts. They're out here trying to be champions. That's what Derrick James fighters are doing. Trying to be champions. And then he also said in the video how they're like, oh, do you think Anthony Joshua, we're asking about Anthony Joshua, do you think Anthony Joshua should fight Deontay Wilder next? Me, personally, no, I don't think Anthony Joshua should fight Deontay Wilder, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't even want to see them fight because why? Anthony Joshua going to get sparked by Deontay Wilder. But I digress. That's another video. And he's saying, listen, I don't dictate these gentlemen's careers. They got managers and advisors. I'm here for training. I'm here for teaching them how to fight. We can discuss it, whatever they want to discuss. They may ask my opinion, but I'm not like, oh, no, you don't need to fight them. I'm not telling these grown men what to do with their career. Should he be telling them grown men what to do with their career? I don't know. Would that help them? I don't know. Because as you know, Errol Spence is advised to not do things and to do things, and he doesn't listen. And not that he don't listen, he just decides not to. I'm gonna say he decides not to because these are grown men we talking about. They're deciding not to. So all Derrick James was saying was, listen, I have what they call time management skills. I am able to train these fighters during different times. I'm able to give my focus to this fighter for 2 hours, give my focus to this fighter for 2 hours, and give my focus for this fighter for 2 hours. All these trainers, they not just training one fighter. They have multiple fighters that they're training. Calvin Ford got multiple fighters that they're training, but Gervonta Tank Davis is his superstar. He's not just training Tank. All these fighters are training other people. So let's stop this with Derrick James. I'm not sure what the hate is about and the disrespect about with Earl Spence and Derrick James. I don't get it. These people are going around working hard, fighting for belts, giving people championship fights, competitive fights, giving them what they want to see. But now we want to try to snatch his Trainer of the Year award away after one loss in an undisputed fight. He had another fighter in a position to get an undisputed title. Yes, he's the Trainer of the Year. So just to give my 2 cents, Derrick James is a great trainer. And if he's able to pull it off with all 5 of these superstar fighters that he have, he's a Hall of Fame trainer. He'll probably be one of the best trainers of this era. And that's my 2 cents. My 2 cents is that Derrick James will possibly end up being one of the best trainers of this era. And that's my 2 cents. So let's stop the disrespect and the hate with Derrick James as if this man is not doing his job. He stay out the way. He don't cause no problems. He not talking for his fighters. He not all in the videos. He not doing none of that. Very humble guy, doing what he's supposed to do. He keeps it real and he's honest. So let me know what you think by dropping your 2 cents in the comments section. Be sure to help support the channel by punching that like and subscribe button. Follow me on IG at 2 Cents Boxing and on Twitter at 2 Cents 20. I'm Jay, and stay tuned for my 2 cents in the next video. Peace.